All right, welcome to reality. You've done all the planning, you've prepared as much as you can, and now you have an actual baby. So, congratulations. And also, buckle up because this is where all those beautiful spreadsheets meet the wonderful chaos of real life with a newborn. Let's start with something nobody really prepares you for: how much your relationship with money changes when you're sleep deprived and running on adrenaline. That budget you carefully crafted, you're about to discover that babies don't read budgets. They don't care that you allocated $30 for monthly clothing when they have a growth spurt and suddenly none of their clothes will fit. So, first, let's talk about managing reduced income during parental leave. If you're taking unpaid leave or partially paid leave, this is where your planning really pays off. But even if you prepared perfectly, living on reduced income while your expenses are actually going up is really tough. Here's what worked for me: create a bare bones budget for your leave period. Strip out everything that's not essential. That streaming service you never use, just cancel it. The gym membership you haven't used since the third trimester, put it on hold. This isn't forever, but for these few months, every dollar counts. Now, don't feel guilty about cutting expenses temporarily. Your priority right now is bonding with your baby and recovering from childbirth, not maintaining your pre-baby lifestyle. There will be plenty of time to add things back later. Let's talk about childcare costs because this is where things get really interesting. If you're still planning to go back to work, you've probably researched childcare costs, but the reality can still be shocking. In some areas, infant care costs more per month than most people's rent. Here's something that catches a lot of families off guard. Most daycares require payment even when your baby is sick and can't attend. You're paying for that spot whether your child is there or not. Factor this into your budget because babies get sick a lot in their first year, especially once they start daycare. And speaking of daycare, here's a pro tip. Many places require deposits or registration fees before your baby can start. Some want first month, last month, and a deposit up front. That can easily be $2,000 to $3,000 before your child even steps foot into the building. And if you're interested in taking a deep dive look into preschool and daycare options, I have another online course called The Ultimate Preschool Guide that might help you get prepared practically, emotionally, mentally, and financially. Now, let's talk about negotiating flexible work arrangements because this can be a game changer for your budget. Even one day a week working from home can save you money on commuting, lunch, and professional clothes. And if you can arrange a schedule that reduces your childcare needs by even a few hours a week, the savings can add up quickly. When you're negotiating with your employer, focus on how your proposed arrangement benefits them too. Maybe you're more productive at home, or maybe you can work slightly different hours that provide better customer coverage. Frame it as a win-win, not just a favor that you're asking for. Here's something that saved us money in the first year. Meal planning became even more important. When you're exhausted and hungry, it's easy to default to expensive takeout. But with a little planning, you can have easy, healthy meals ready to go. Invest in a slow cooker or instant pot if you don't have one already. Prep meals on weekends when your partner can watch the baby. Make double batches and freeze half of it. And don't be ashamed of using grocery pickup or delivery services. The small fee is worth it when leaving the house with a baby feels like planning a military operation. Now, let's talk about emergency fund priorities with new expenses. Your emergency fund is more important than ever now. It also needs to be bigger. You're not just covering your own emergencies anymore, you're covering potential baby emergencies too. That said, don't panic if you can't build it up immediately. Focus on maintaining what you have and adding it to when you can. Even an extra $20 a month helps, and your emergency fund will grow over time as your income stabilizes and your efficiency improves. Here's something I wish someone had told me. Automate everything you can in that first year. Set up automatic bill pay, automatic savings transfers, automatic investment contributions. When you're functioning on 3 hours of sleep, the last thing you want to worry about is whether you paid the electric bill. Speaking of automation, this is a great time to review all your financial systems. Simplify whenever possible. Consolidate accounts if that makes sense. The goal is to reduce the mental load of managing your finances when your brain is already maxed out. Now let's talk about adapting to new expenses and surprises because there will be plenty of both. The beautiful budget you created, consider it a starting point, not a strict rule book. You're going to go over your budget in some categories and be under budget in others, and that's completely normal. Keep track of where your money is actually going, but don't stress about small overages. If you budgeted $50 for baby clothes and spent $75 because of a growth spurt, that's just life with a baby. Just try to balance it out by spending less somewhere else. Here's a list of first-year financial surprises that caught me off guard. extra medical appointments for things like reflux or feeding issues or eczema checkups, the cost of pumping supplies if you're breastfeeding and working, baby proofing supplies that you didn't think you needed until they started crawling, but then they started crawling right away, travel expenses for family to visit the new baby or for you to visit the family with the baby. Let's talk about insurance claims and reimbursements because you'll probably be dealing with more medical paperwork than ever before. Keep a simple system for tracking claims and follow up on anything that seems wrong. Medical billing errors are common and you don't want to pay for services that you didn't receive. If you have an HSA or FSA, take advantage of it for baby-related expenses. Breast pumps, certain baby monitors, even some baby screens can be eligible expenses. Keep receipts for everything because the rules can be complicated and you might not realize something was eligible until later. Here's something about taxes that new parents often miss. You can claim your baby as a dependent for the entire tax year, even if they were born on December 31st. That's a significant tax benefit that can help offset some of your first-year expenses. Also, look into the child tax credit and any state-specific benefits for new parents. Some states offer tax credits for childcare expenses or adoption costs. These benefits can add up to substantial savings. Let's talk about maintaining your financial habits during this chaotic time. It's easy to let everything slide when you're in survival mode, but try to maintain at least the basics. Check your bank balances regularly, even if it's just a quick look at your phone app. Keep contributing to retirement accounts if you can, even if you have to reduce the amount temporarily. Don't completely abandon your financial goals, but be realistic about adjusting them. Maybe you can't save as aggressively for that vacation fund, but you can still put away something each month. Progress is progress, even if it's slower than you planned. Here's something that really helped us. We had a monthly money check-in meeting, even if it was just 15 minutes while the baby napped. We'd review our spending, talk about any upcoming expenses, and make sure we were still on track with our goals. It sounds formal, but it's actually a stress reducer because we both knew where we stood financially. One more thing about that first year. Be kind to yourself about money mistakes. You're going to buy things you don't need, forget to cancel subscriptions, or overspend on something because you were just tired and overwhelmed. That's just part of the learning process, not a sign you're bad with money. The first year with a baby is really about survival and adaptation, not perfection. Your financial systems will evolve as you figure out what works for your new family dynamic. Focus on the big picture and don't sweat the small stuff. In our final module, we're going to put it all together with action steps and create a system that will keep you on track for the long haul.